Up for sale, 1969 Ford XL GT convertible. I'm going to walk around and tell you about the car, fire it up, and then drive it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you. Like I said, 69 Ford XL GT convertible, finished in factory colors, with its original 429 4-barrel in it. The engine, of course. Loaded with options, loaded with receipts, paperwork, sold new in Wyoming, Marty report. Of course, go around and point out anything I do see, tell you everything I do know about it, fire it up, and then drive it. So, of course, we'll start here in the front. It's finished in its original color combination as well, which is a little bit, older. It's probably one repaint. There's some marks on it, some touch-ups, stuff like that throughout the car. But more importantly, what a rare car this actually is. GT convertible, 429 4-barrel, with the other options that it has, and the Marty report's in the car. But let me start off on the bumper here in the front. You see a little bit of patina on it. Actually, still very shiny that you see there. But in those corners on both sides, you see a little bit of something. The hideaway headlights, of course, power steering, power front disc brakes. It was ordered with power windows, factory AC. It was ordered with cruise control from the factory, power top, bucket seats, and console. C6 automatic, 3.25 gear ratio. This is all just off the top of my head because I know this. You see some light marks there on the edge of the hood. I mean, quality of the paint though, when it was done, probably super, super nice. Of course, also a GT convertible. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, just this car with the engine, transmission combinations is one of 713. I believe it said with the GT equipment group, it's one of 413, making this a pretty rare car. It's a very honest car. It's a very unmolested car, and you'll see that all as they go around. Like I said, sold new in Wyoming. So what does it have? All original body panels, no rust underneath the car. But let me go ahead. I'll pop the hood for you, and I'll tell you all about that. The hideaway headlights, they do work. Now here's your original 429 4-barrel. The engine was just rebuilt by the previous owner within the last 4 years. He had it machined and whatnot and all that good stuff. Runs like a top. Obviously not a lot of miles on it. He did it more for like a labor of love thing because he's a Ford Lincoln guy. And really, what a guy to buy a car from, to be honest with you. He tried to make everything in here look as correct as it can be. He even got an Autolite battery on there. He redid the air conditioning system. I have receipts for that. Power steering, you see the power brakes and master cylinder, which is new for the power front disc brakes. He even went as far as to try and match this as well as he could, because on the day of delivery, the mechanic would have written that out, which I think is pretty cool. Smooth running, strong, of course, being 429. Drives very, very nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I got a lot of receipts for the car as well, including, like I said, the engine. Let me see here. I mean, this section here is super, super nice. I know the paint has patina, but in here, and mechanically wise, that's top notch. And again, I'll probably show you the headlights go up and down at some point. 429 badge. You see some checking in the paint. Again, probably one repaint. Wyoming probably sat out in the sun for some time. The gentleman that I bought it from, he's actually owned it 2 times. You see some chipping down there on that. That's not rust. And you'll hear it as I go around. All metal, which is super cool. But we'll go back over here. Of course, being original body panels, everything fits up the way you want it to be. No cracks in the glass. There was a lot of information I received, so I'm trying to get it all in order here. We'll go to the windshield. You see the VIN tag there. The original tag is still in the door. Super nice windshield here. This trim is actually, pretty nice condition. It shows age, but of course, not bad. Top has a little, little discoloration, but it's nice. It's not ripped. Actually, there's no rips on it. Glass window is super nice, of course. Tinted glass as well. You can kind of see that. But let me see. I want to get to the paperwork that I have. Oh, also tilt steering column as well. But here's your your tag here in the door. See how nice the metal is in there. White and black interior was the color combination for the car. Now, I mentioned it was ordered with power windows. Very interesting note here. And the gentleman, who I would like to say knows a fair amount. He says has its original door card, so he believes that at the factory, or at the dealer, I should say, that he had him requested to put the cranks in, which is kind of interesting. Again, it was a poor system back in the day, and I had a 67, same kind of a car. They did the same thing to it, and you can see in there the wires running in there, which is pretty interesting, actually, that they would do that. White bucket seats, black console, which is the factory console. Dash is super nice. Let me hop in here. Carpet's good. No rips on it. I have the original steering wheel for the car. It's obviously in less nice condition than this, and this looks pretty nice. He went out of his way to find that, which he says is very rare, and actually it works. Controls are all nice. You see that? Shifter's nice. That looks super nice. Dash is very nice as well. No cracks in it. I mentioned I had another one. It was a 67 428 4-barrel. Same thing, loaded with options, executive ordered. That was more of a drivable restoration candidate, where this is more of an honest, you know, where the interior is super nice on it. The mechanics were all done. Just with a little bit older paint on just a Wyoming super solid body. But let me show you this here. One, the Marty report. Sold new in Casper, Wyoming. C6 automatic, 3.25 standard axle ratio. Factory colors. XL 2-door convertible, 429 4-barrel. White power top with glass backlight. GT equipment group, C6 visibility group. White sidewall tires, power windows, power steering. See, power windows. Tilt away steering wheel, speed control, AC, AM FM stereo radio, intermittent windshield wipers. Okay, some less stuff. Power door locks. It has power door locks as well. That's pretty cool. Not really too important. 703 with the engine transmission code. 412 with GT equipment group. Very rare car. Very rare car. And now I've never had this before, and I think this is pretty interesting. It's basically the same thing, but directly from Ford rather than Marty report. If I can open it. I did take a picture of it. This was in 2004. So, anyway. Basically showing the same stuff. If you'd like to pause the video and read it, you can. I mentioned that the owner has owned it 2 times. He bought it around 2000, and then he bought it again in around 2018. He found it in Tennessee. And I believe this is upside down, so let me... Yeah. And then for the car, well, other keys, but I've got just a ton of paperwork. A lot of recent stuff, too, like 19, stuff like that. The gentleman who just had it in the last 4 years did a lot of work to the car. Of course, you know, one of which... rebuilding the engine, which, as we know, is very costly. So I'll leave those there. Safekeeping. Don't know if I mentioned the original steering wheel does come with the car. Yeah, I did mention that. The power top works. The headlights do go up and down as they should. Back seat is super nice. See, look at that. Cranks in the back. And I know you see that. That's just a little bit of, you know, age down there. That's not rust. That's not rust. No. You see some other little blemishes on the car here. That's why I'm not really spending too much time pointing them out, because they're there. You're going to see them as I'm going around. Some other stuff there. I'm actually going to pause the video and refocus. There we go. Another nice thing. No bubbles down there. That's an idea for you. This is dented and touched up, but I have 2, I'm not going to say new, but excellent from a donor car of these pieces on both sides. If you'd like to freshen it up and put it on, or whatever your plans would be. Back bumper, a lot nicer than the front bumper. Shinier, I mean less marking, stuff like that. Your fitment of the lid is exactly how you want it to be. except it juts out just a little bit on this side. One of the susceptible areas on this car is just a little bit of bubbling behind this piece of trim here. So there's some bubbling, I would say, from here to the other side. You see that? I guess, you know, on a Ford, sometimes you can't avoid it. I have a second one of these, which is probably about $300 in value. So if you'd like to use it or sell it or whatnot, put it on the shelf. Close it. The only other little bit of rust I could find on the car was under here, and I guess that makes sense. You know, mostly surface, but a couple little pinholes. This is a little bit more, and then I'm not going to say that because that would be where one of these rubber teats would go. But you see, dome light works. I got the top boot for it, which is white, of course, matching the interior. And just take a minute to appreciate how solid this trunk pan is. Original, not rusted out, not patched. The quarter you can see there, original. Same deal there. Let me lay this back in. And I mentioned that the gentleman was a kind of a fanatic with these cars, of course. So he's got every volume of shop manual for it. I would say a little over the top, but very nice to have, of course. You see a stamping right there. Another one right there. And then the toolkit is in here where it should be, strapped down. Again, no bubbles down there, but you see some other, you know, marks on the car here and there. But again, you know, shiny paint, honest. You've seen the car as you go around. A little crack in the paint there, a couple of chips that you see. Some other touch-ups there. It's funny, he said he put the stripe on it in about 2000 when he owned it. And it, you know, it's kind of cool. Again, nice metal in here. But anyway, will be up for sale later today. And of course, if I missed anything at all in this video, I will probably have it in the ad or below in the video, or I'll write a little note. A lot of information, trying to remember everything. '69 Ford XL GT convertible, finished in factory colors. And actually, one other thing I'd like to point out here, I think it's this, the window trim isn't keeping the window out, so there's just a little gap between this window and this window. But anyway, carrying on, 429 4-barrel original engine to the car, C6 automatic, 3.25 rear, steering, power front disc brakes, AC. It was power windows, kind of cool story there. Was cruise control as well, tilt, bucket seats and console, power top, GT, can't forget that, hideaway headlights. You see super nice fitment as well here, all the way down. Again, original sheet metal. The floor pan frame, I've had it on the rack, super nice. You see just in the corner of this door here, a couple little minute bubbles that, you know, of course, that is going to happen, but you've seen the majority of the car without it. So we are getting to that point where we're going to wrap the video up, and then we'll let you hear it run and then drive it. So of course, thank you for watching, and here we go.